Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
So here we are sitting there having high-quality, one-on-one, engaged, present time with our kids. And guess who's snoring beside me on the bed?
And now here's the stars of our show, my mum and dad.
Oh, it's the end of another week, and I'm kind of feeling good about this because the weekend is just around the corner, and this is our favourite episode of the podcast, I'll Do Better Tomorrow. This is the podcast where we reevaluate, rethink, consider all over again all the stuff that we've done as parents this week and figure out if we did okay or whether or not we might be able to do a bit better tomorrow. G'day, this is Dr. Justin Coulson. I'm the founder of happyfamilies.com.au, and I'm here with Kylie, my wife and mum to our 6 daughters. Love doing this podcast with you, hun, because of the conversations we get to have. But these are the best conversations, right? Every Friday where we get to reflect on the week that was.
It's also become one of your favourites because we get to do the Little Wins Win.
You can't say
The Little Wins Wednesday winner.
I love that. Say
You're
it again.
so unfair.
Say it 3 times fast. Go.
Little Wins Wednesday winner. Little Wins Wednesday winner. Little Wins Wednesday winner.
Yeah, okay, you've got it. I'll give that to you. Can you say, it's an old one.
No, don't.
Come on, say, what about which wicked witch wished which wicked wish?
Which wicked witch wished which wicked wish?
You got to do it faster than that. Come on.
No.
Come on. Okay, I got another one for you. Not that we're doing tongue twisters today, but let's just do one more. Any noise annoys an oyster, and a noisy noise annoys an oyster most. I just stumbled on it. I've been saying that for years and never made a mistake.
Any noise annoys an oyster, but a noisy noise annoys an oyster is most.
You got it right there as well. Any noise annoys an oyster, and a noisy noise annoys an oyster most. Which wicked witch wished which wicked wish. But the best one, still, after all these years, is red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
You're saying it so slowly. You're going to have to listen to that on 1.5 speed on the podcast so that it sounds like you're doing it quickly. Anyway, a Little Wins Wednesday winner is where we were before we went on. How did you get us onto that? I'm blaming you for all of that.
Well, Erin is our winner.
Feels like Friday. What's she won?
Oh, you're hilarious. She's won your
12-pack
of Justinisms.
These are all the things that I say all the time to help your family to be happier. We've got them as an A5 cardboard poster for your fridge or for your wall so that you can have all those cues around you to remind you to be calm and kind, or to get curious, not furious, and to remember that not everything has to be fixed. And
channel your Dr. Justin.
Yeah, channel you. That's right, channel your inner Dr. Justin. What did Erin do to win on Little Wins Wednesday with her little ones and their little wins?
Well, she's not so little. My 14-year-old daughter seemed really upset for a couple of days. I asked if she was okay and wanted to talk, but she said no, that she didn't want to talk about it. Usually I would keep asking until she told me, and this would end in frustration.
Yeah, force creates resistance. Yeah.
But I've learnt so much since joining Happy Families, so I gave her the space that she asked for. Told her I was here for her when and if she does want to talk about it, and a couple of days later she told me all about it. Honestly, this was a big win for me, being able to let go and give my teenager the space she needed.
Yeah, what a great story. Well done, Erin. By the way, if you want to win, all you have to do is look out on Facebook and tell us about your little wins with your little ones. And every Friday, as we talk about I'll Do Better Tomorrow, we get to celebrate your little wins and successes with your families as well. So who's up first today, Kylie? Is it you or is it me?
Well, I've kind of got a couple that I was going to share today. One of them was probably not so good.
So you got a second one that was good so you can redeem yourself, is that what you're
maybe
saying? Right. That's not how it's supposed to work, Mrs. Coulson.
Well, on Sunday, we sat down with each of the kids to do our interviews with them. We try to do this once a month, but we haven't been so good with it for a little while now.
Yeah, so we had a podcast about a week and a bit ago where we talked about our meetings. We have our family meetings, our couple meetings, and our quarter getaways. Something we didn't tell you about is that about once a month, we sit down and have a one-on-one with the kids where we ask them
the same questions.
The same 3 questions. What's going well, what's not, and what do you need to work on? And we call that a PPI, a personal parenting interview. So we did that last Sunday.
We did. I wasn't as prepared as I could have been.
Maybe we shouldn't say that we did that. Maybe we should just say that I did that.
And let's just be grateful that there was 2 of us present, because I may have just happened to doze off during one of them.
So here we are sitting there having high-quality, one-on-one, engaged, present time with our kids, and guess who's snoring beside me on the bed while I'm talking to the...
Hey, that was your first problem. You did not. We should not have done it on our bed. That was the first problem because I just slowly started to slide down until I was no longer seated and I was gone.
Yeah. You did not do well. So I'll do better tomorrow.
I heard some of the conversation.
The take-home message...
And lucky you took notes.
Is...
Don't sit in bed when you have interviews with your kids.
Stay awake when you're talking to them. They're actually talking to you about important stuff. Gosh. All right, so redeem yourself. What was the other thing that you wanted to talk about?
Well, it actually wasn't anything to do with me, and it happened to be the same child I fell asleep with.
Right.
But the other night... You were out, and the other night I came to bed really, really late. And this particular child had been pushing the boundaries of going to bed on time, and so I'd caught her in her bedroom with her light on much later than she should have been. And she looked at me and she said, I know, Mum, I'm going to bed. Anyway, she came racing out and I didn't see where she went, and then she raced back to her bedroom. But it wasn't until I got into bed that night that I found, actually, I didn't find it that night. It wasn't until the next morning. When I got up the next morning, I noticed that there was a card on my bedside table, and I opened it up, and here was this child who had just written me this beautiful letter. And one of the things that stood out to me in that letter was just the acknowledgement that the thing that she looks forward to the most in her day is listening to the things that I share specifically at the dinner table about the things that I'm grateful for or the opportunities I've had to help other people during the day. That was the highlight of her day. And it was just a really nice eye-opener to me as a parent that sometimes we kind of think our kids have got their eyes glazed over and they're not even interested in what we're sharing or the things that we're doing in our day. And for her, the highlight was just knowing that I have a beautiful heart, were her words, that I have a beautiful heart, and that she doesn't know other people who seek helping others as much as I do. And I was really grateful for that. It really was such a beautiful way to start my day.
I think there's a great lesson in there if there's a take-home message, and that is the power of identifying people's strengths. It was a gorgeous letter. It was labelled strictly for Kylie Coulson's eyes only, totally confidential. So I didn't actually read it in case she's listening to the podcast. Well, maybe I did, but I'm looking at the way her words, this is the words of an 11-year-old girl talking about her mum, and in that little letter to you, she highlighted your strengths. She highlighted the things that she admires in you. And it was a beautiful letter. I'm sure that you will keep that. She gave one to me as well, and I'm keeping it forever. It was beautiful. What power there is when we spend time acknowledging what we admire in our children, when we talk to them about what we're proud of, when we focus on their strengths rather than their shortcomings and failings. It was her that taught us that lesson, and I think that's beautiful. Up next, I'll Do Better Tomorrow.
It's the Happy Families Podcast.
For a happier family, try a Happy Families membership, because a happy family doesn't just happen. Details at happyfamilies.com.au.
It's the Happy Families Podcast, the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now. And today we are talking about...
I'll Do Better Tomorrow. This is the bit where we reflect on the week that was and whether we did well or whether we didn't and how we can be better tomorrow. So I'll Do Better Tomorrow, I'm not sure if this is a good one or a bad one. I'm the kind of person... Now, I need to be really clear about this. I'm the kind of person who gets things done. And I get them done early. Like if I've got a deadline, I want to get that thing taken care of. You're looking at me with disbelief. I want to get this thing done 2 weeks ahead of time. I don't want to be stressed out at the last minute and worrying about whether or not I'm going to make things happen or not. This is how I've lived since university. What are you giving me this grief for?
Keep going, I'm listening.
Okay, so I'm the kind of person who gets stuff done early. But during the week, our 17-year-old, grade 11, she's got a psychology lab report due in her psych class, and she comes to me and says, Dad, I've got to get this report done. I need your help. It's due at 7 o'clock tonight. It's 5:30 when she tells me this. I had a webinar that night that I had to run for 25 schools around the country, all joining in at the same time. We're talking about a lot of people, and I'm thinking, I'm not even ready for this webinar. Oh, I just realised what I've said. Okay, well, I was ready.
So I think
no. I was ready. I'm just making it. I was ready.
I think that in your head, you think that you are a person who likes to get things done well in advance. But I think that if we got Evelynne on the phone, who is amazing with all the technology behind everything, that she might have something different to say.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to call Evelynne right now because I think that she's going to agree that I am a person who gets stuff done.
Oh, she will agree with that.
And that I get it done early most of the time.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, Ev, Justin and Kylie, we're doing the podcast right now and we're in the middle of a little bit of a conversation about I'll Do Better Tomorrow and we need you to settle something for us.
Okay, shoot.
So, Ev, Justin has just publicly admitted that he is a person who does everything in a very timely fashion. And I have suggested that just might not be the case. Could you please confirm?
Justin and I have a system. The system is that Justin gets to things when he does, and then I madly put those things together for him so that they're ready to go in time.
So
we always make it. We always make it, Kylie.
You do always make it. So on Monday night when he had a webinar.
Yes, that was in the schedule for him to write about 4 weeks prior to the webinar. Yes, I'm aware.
When were you doing your slideshow for that?
From memory, I think it was about 4:59.
Love it. That's all we needed, Ev. Thank you so
We'd
much.
love to stay on our toes.
Goodbye, Evelynne.
Okay, bye.
I can't believe that even Evelynne didn't support me on that one.
Look, honey, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding.
It was a one-off.
A one-off. Do you know the times that you go on holiday? Ev complains that life is very boring because she doesn't get a phone call at 4:00 in the afternoon.
This is not about my time management. This is about our children and
their time
parenting.
management.
This is about I'll Do
okay.
Better Tomorrow. Gosh, I can't believe you're doing this to me.
So carry on. Tell me about your story.
I don't remember what the story is now. It's gone. I think it had something to do with a psychology experiment that was due, and I looked at it and it was a disaster. And
in our child's defence, she actually thought that all she needed you to do was proofread.
Yeah, that's right.
Would that be fair?
And I proofread it and figured she was going to get about 15%. It was just terrible. So I sat down with her and I worked with her on the assignment for the 2 hours, even though I had a webinar that was prepared, but I needed to go and spend some time really making sure that I was across it so I could deliver an absolutely first-class product. That's really what I needed to do. It was prepped. Okay, I'm just saying it was prepped. And she submitted it, and I don't know if it was a good or a bad thing in terms of I'll Do Better Tomorrow, but we got to have a pretty good conversation about it, and it just felt good to be able to step in and be helpful with a big girl who was having a bit of a hard time with an assignment. And unfortunately, because of the time restraints, I might have done a bit more of the assignment for her than I should have. Like I might have sat down and kicked her off the keyboard and started to type sentences. And if I don't get at least 85% on this assignment, I'm going to be really mad.
I think we've done a podcast on this somewhere along the line, letting our kids deal with the consequences of their own choices.
We need to wrap this up before I incriminate myself any further. What's the take-home message from today's podcast?
My take-home message is don't be in bed when we interview the kids.
Right. And mine? Gosh.
Follow your calendar?
No, this is about being a parent. This isn't about what I do in my office. Leave me alone. My take-home message is that it's really great to actually sit down with the kids and work with them. And one of the things that I actually talked to her about was because I was trying to explain to her how to do the work that was in front of her. And she kept saying, Dad, I don't need you to explain it to me. I just need you to tell me what I need to do. Like she just wanted the answer.
She wanted the answer.
And I kept saying, fast is slow and slow is fast. If I do this the fast way, you're not going to learn it. We need to do it slowly so that you can actually integrate it.
Yes, but as you were doing it slowly, she was literally watching that clock tick away, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was crying. The anxiety was getting the better of her. It reminded me of what it was like when I was at school and I hated it.
Yeah.
I would never do that in my life.
Do you know what my take home was from that situation?
Tell me.
As much as you had other things that were really, really pressing for you, you took the time to actually be with your child. And that was really, really hard on everybody in the moment, but it meant so much to her.
I'll take that. We really hope that you've enjoyed the podcast, and we hope it helps you to do better tomorrow. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rullan, and he's at Bridge Media, and Craig Bruce, our executive producer. Good luck editing this one, guys.
It's a good thing we're not getting them on to talk, because they probably would have a story or two as well. But that's another story.
We'd love to hear your feedback. You can email us podcasts@happyfamilies.com.au, or you can leave your 5-star ratings and reviews at Apple Podcasts to help other people find out about the podcast. Oh, and if you'd like to make your family happier, keep listening to the podcast and get more info at happyfamilies.com.au.